We'll call
Mr. Francis. Mrs. Orleans. Here. Mrs. McGinnis. Here. Mr. Mignon.
here.
Mr. Cook.
Here.
Mr. Pacifica.
Here.
Mr. McCauley.
Here.
Mr. Pattis.
Here.
Mr. Orleans.
Here.
Okay, let's announce that prior to this meeting of executive session, we're going to discuss personnel matters. We also received our Act 44 report from our Chief of Security, Mr. Pepper. We have that on the record. At this moment, I would like to provide an opportunity to any participants to set up the microphone and identify themselves and have 5 minutes to speak. Maybe they'll step up.
Hi, my name is Amanda Hawes, and I'm a parent of a second grade student who is attending Penn Lincoln Elementary. I stand here this evening to speak on behalf of my child and his future education with Penn Lincoln. My child was granted a boundary letter last year, right after we had moved right outside of Penn Lincoln's school zone. Based on the decision, I was also hired by Altoona Area School District as a special education aide for the autism support room. On the last day of school, we were informed his boundary request had been denied. Schools are the first place where our children learn about various new things, which help in their growth. It teaches them how to begin balancing life. My child was allowed to form connections with educational support personnel who have been available to him at Penn Lincoln. My child has an IEP and had the opportunity to excel at Penn Lincoln's program due to your extraordinary faculty who have all been a huge part of his educational career. He has made unbelievable progress due to these individuals. My child's grades alone prove how he is succeeding. When my child's boundary letter was denied, I was told during a conversation with Haley Flegel, the Assistant Superintendent of Curriculum Instruction in elementary programs, that it is due to class sizes among other conditions. However, Penn Lincoln students have declined by 13% over the last 5 school years. The school has maintained an average of 33 teachers over the last 5 school years. Penn Lincoln's student-to-teacher ratio is a 10-to-1. The state average of a student-to-teacher ratio is a 13-to-1. I'm not understanding this decision when my child's principal was also willing to sign his boundary letter. The principal would be aware of his school's classroom sizes firsthand. In conclusion, we again are asking you to reconsider my child's boundary letter so he can continue to further his education with the guidance and the structure in your team of amazing faculty members at Penn Lincoln Elementary. Thank you for your time. My name again is Amanda Hawes.
fair to our taxpayers. So it's definitely not a decision I take lightly, but one that I do feel is fair for everybody involved.
I'll go ahead and speak as well. As much as I would love to have zero, I mean, I own over 100 properties in the city and I know this is going to have a pretty significant implication. But I also understand that this is very important. And I mean, even in the bathroom, Dave said, well, what do you do? I said, well, we might just have to raise our rents a little, or we might have to, I mean, we just have to adapt. So unfortunately, things are not getting cheaper. So, I mean, that's kind of where I stand.
My only adding to this is Mr. Francis is accurate. I've been retired now from this district for 3 years and I am on a fixed income. I do have extra money, so I'm in a very nice place, but being somebody who's a history major, this country was founded on the basis of a tax revolt. So this was a difficult decision for me because I'm one of those people that think there's a certain amount that you can tell the people they have to pay to invest. Two people are here that are business people. I understand it. You've got your employees to concern yourself, your own families. It was difficult, very difficult. But in the end, I think Mr. France said it best. It's about our kids. It's about our staff. It's about our district. And if we don't invest it the proper way, we're asking for trouble. There's a place anybody knows the game of pool, you never want to get behind the 8 ball. You got to stay in front of it at all times. And we have to make adjustments every year as we go along. And again, with great difficulty, I agreed with this. One of my fellow board members said something about 6%, which I looked, geez, but in the end, after thinking about it, he had a great point. With great difficulty, I'm going to agree with this, but again, it's about our future. And if we don't start getting a hold of it, we're in trouble. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I guess I'll chime in. So I think probably everyone already knows how I feel. I'm always a proponent that we have a deficit in our budget to begin with without the COVID funds. So I think it's really important that we need to try to balance our budget. And I know that the administration is working hard to make cuts and be creative to save expenditures. But at the end of the day, I'm kind of where Val is, that I'm not willing to raise taxes that much because I think that we need to continue to look for more places to save, and we need to do our due diligence and be responsible. So I think we're in a difficult position because we didn't raise taxes for so long. So I know that there is a need, but I think that 5% is a huge hit.
Anyone else? And before we move on, it should be duly noted that Camilla and Sue and their team do a tremendous job, as does the entire school district. I don't think any dissension that may be seems apparent here. There is none. There's no doubt that we operate pretty frugally here. We do a really nice job, and I appreciate the work that they all do. Brad has gone and his team have gone out of his way to find significant reductions this year. They were meaningful. So I want to commend everybody for that. And I want to commend my fellow board members for just the general demeanor of the conversation. So that being said, all in favor? Oh, I'm sorry. Roll call vote.
Mr. Mignon,
No.
Mr. Francis, Mrs. Irwin Adams, Mrs. McGinnis,
Yes.
Mr. Cook,
Yes.
Mr. McCauley,
No.
Mr. Romanowitz,
Yes.
Mr. Romanowitz,
Yes. Yes.
He has said yes, correct?
Yes.
It came through. Okay. He said yes. We can note that.
Mr. Pacifico,
Yes.
Mr. Pappas,
Yes.
Motion carries
5-3. 6.
6-3.
It's tough. And I've been around it for so long. It's so hard to raise taxes. It's absolutely miserable to do it. And we've had other entities raise taxes and they didn't want to do it. You know, how anybody can run for office, say they'll never raise taxes is either a line or a full. But it's part of what we have to do. And and other boards that I've served on, they would have been yelling and screaming, you're not going around with me, you're not, you don't agree with me. But this is a pretty good board and it was handled pretty good until I see you outside.
I'll go ahead and chime in one more time. Something that I will add is that almost 60% of eligible households will not see any increase at all because of the Homestead Act. So I just want to throw that out as well.
Thank you. And that's next on the agenda is to discuss item C under number 3, and that is administration recommends approval of the 24-25 homestead and farmstead exclusion resolution. Do I have a motion to approve that resolution? So moved. Do I have a second?
Second.
Would we like to discuss Dave, would you like to give your annual plea to?
And Sue, you know, every year we ask, please, please take advantage of the homestead. And don't come to us and complain about your taxes, and you have a vehicle that can save you money. All you have to do is apply for it. And those senior citizens that are under maybe 45,000 a year can go to senior services and have them look at your income, and you can get a tax break through the state. So there are vehicles that you can use to lower your taxes. So the homestead is everybody's eligible. So please take advantage of it.
Thank you. Anybody else? All right. All in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, under item 4 minutes, we could take both at the same time. I'm looking for approval of the regular board meeting minutes from May 13th, 2024, and the committee of the whole minutes on June 3rd, 2024. May I have a motion to approve those minutes?
So moved.
Do I have a second? Anybody like to discuss anything? If not, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Now we'll move on to finance. Has anybody read ahead, and is there any of these that anybody would wish to carve out specifically, or can we go through them all? Okay. Sorry, struggling with my computer here. So we have list of payments under A, financial reports under B, healthcare stop loss agreement under C, solicitor, the Beard Legal Group under D, Career Link lease addendum under E, insurance renewals for 2024, 2025, participation in the school-based access program, Child Advocates of Blair County parking lot lease under H, the Altoona Public Library donation under I, renewal of the voluntary disability coverage with Madison National under J. Under K, we have the Lexington Mall Station Medical Lease Agreement. That's a parking agreement, I believe. Under L, we have the PSBA membership add-on. Under M, we have the preliminary 2024-25 tuition rates. Under N, we have People One data sharing agreement. Under O, we have life insurance renewal. Under P, we have the Creative Kids lease agreement to extend from 2023 through 2028. Under Q, voluntary student accident insurance. Under R, athletic meal money, and under S, use of facilities. Do I have a motion to approve items A through S under number 5? Do I have a second? Would we like to discuss any of these items?
The only thing is, how did you get your car insurance so low? I just can't believe everybody else's car insurance is going up, and I see that this is a decrease.
We had to increase, they forced us to increase our deductible from 1,000 to 2,500. But we had a couple of claims. I was shocked that it, even doing that it went down.
I knew there was a catch somewhere. Okay.
Anybody else like to discuss any of these items?
Can you just review the healthcare stop loss agreement? I know that you're recommending option 2. Is that going to give us enough coverage? I don't.
I'm pulling it up.
Sorry.
That's okay. Based on the review of our claims and at the advice of our brokers, option 2 was the was the recommendation. We've had several high dollar claims, but only one or two of them actually hit stop loss. And some of them are they were one-time things. It wasn't a chronic condition. That's, if we have a chronic condition, we look at things differently, where if there are three people with something that's going to carry on for a long time, then we have to review it and assess it with that in mind. But just some like one-time things, car accidents or a difficult delivery, those kinds of things, that it's once and done.
Anyone else? Okay, all in favor of approving items A through S under section 5, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, under 6, we'll move to education. And if I mispronounce this name, all you educational professionals could laugh at me. Is it Franklin Covey or Covey? Covey. Leader in Me curriculum amount correction. Under B, 2024-25 Operation Our Town grant. Under C, 2024-25 Operation Our Town grant for adult education. Under D, grant approval for public facilities improvement grant. Under E, NWEA MAP continuation agreement. Under F, new teacher induction program completion for the year 2023-24. Pearson View GED schedule for 24 and 25. UPMC Western Behavioral Health of the Alleghenies. Under H, I'm sorry, under I, we have Kids First Affiliated Services. Under, sorry, my mouse isn't working. I'll go to the traditional old guy thing. Okay. Under I, the IU8 agreement for school age education services. Under K, the MOU for Child Advocates of Blair County. Under L, Blair Family Solutions. Under M, pre-doctoral internship. Under N, approval of the Altoona Area High School girls wrestling team. Under O, impact counseling services agreement. And sorry. Under P, impact counseling services agreement. Did I miss O? I got O. Okay. One's for elementary, O's for elementary, and P is for the junior high school and the high school. Q is adult education positions, R is volunteer approval, and S is graduate credit reimbursement. Would anybody like to carve any of these out for an individual vote, or are we good to move on? All right, so under section 6, I'm seeking a motion to approve items A through S.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Would anybody like to discuss any of these or any questions? Okay, all in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Carries. All right, next we move to 7, personnel, the longest personnel agenda in the history of the board, I think. It might have been 28 or 32 pages, I can't remember. So we have the personnel agenda under A, we have the business manager addendum to contract under B. Under C, we have the AASD Work Partners Employee Assistance Program. Would we like to break any of these out individually, or can we vote on them in mass? Okay. Seeking a motion to approve items A through C under 7 personnel. Do I have a second?
Second.
All right, would anybody like to discuss any of the information?
I just have a question. For the officials and the event workers and all of the extra things, are they the same amount as last year? Or are there any increases? Because we only see the amount, but we don't have, like, we have to look back to compare to.
There were some slight increases and those will be based on either PIAA and or the official groups, whether it be through MidPen or whatever. It was slight. There were I would say the majority of them remain the same.
Are they
There's a
just,
schedule.
is it just officials or is it?
The only event workers that were increased were back area security and ticket takers. They were put more in line so that all of the personnel that are working events and games are on par with one another. There were some slight increases to a couple of the positions for ones that would be at games or events for 3 to 4 hours at a time.
Okay,
Ticket taker, ticket seller, high school only.
okay.
Mhm.
And these were brought up at athletic council,
Correct,
right?
yeah.
I know, well, I
Okay.
missed athletic council unfortunately, so.
Uh-huh. All right,
So that's why I was asking.
okay. Anybody else like to discuss any other items here?
We are losing some good people under the resignation, so I
Mhm.
hope they know that they were definitely appreciated by a lot and by students. So I want to thank them for their time with the district.
Thanks, Steph. Anybody else? All right. All in favor of approving items A through C under 7 personnel, please signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, now we'll move on to 8, business operations. We have the capital reserve list of payments. We have the authorization of payments. We have repository bids. We have the Amtran contract under D. We have the grant application for the COPS School Violence Prevention Program. We have F, the bus garage ceiling replacement. We have under G, the intramural field retaining wall repair and preservation. Under H, we have elementary security camera replacement. Under I, apartment project community classroom space. And under J, a high school change order. Should we break out G? Or are we good with everything? Do we want to split anything out? Are we good on voting on all of them? All right. Seeking a motion to approve items A through J under section 8.
So moved.
Looking for a second?
Second.
Okay. Would anybody like to discuss any of these? In particular, maybe the retaining wall?
I mean, I do have a question about the retaining wall. I was not at facilities, so I'm relying on the people from facilities, but I think there was a question about one of the bills from the architect. I don't know that that's on here, but from Eads in a second bill, is that a question or no?
I don't recall that. from
Chris, Mike,
facilities.
do you know? Maybe, yeah, I said there was like a second bill that came through from. And did they? Okay,
So when you look at the RFP and the bid, there were 2 pieces to the bid. There was the scope, the full project and an alt bid 1, which
She's asking about the before and planning. She's asking about planning.
that had already been.
so that's,
that had already
okay,
been
that's
approved.
that's
Yes.
what I was,
Yes. Mhm.
okay.
Mhm.
Okay. Anybody else? Any discussion? Okay. All in favor of approving items A through J under section 8, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Mr. President, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Under personnel, I should have abstained and I didn't. on the resignations number 2. So I'm going to abstain from that. The,
Okay. Duly noted. Camilla? Thanks, Dave. Under section 9, do we have any committee reports, committee chair reports? Board president report? No. Do we have a superintendent's report?
Just very briefly, I want to thank the board for your continued professionalism and collaboration. The budget process is never easy. And obviously, when there are considerations, not just short-term, but long-term, and looking at the health and well-being of our district and community, there are tough decisions to make, and you're making them on a daily, monthly, and meeting basis. So I again want to reiterate how lucky we are to have such a collaborative board who are constantly looking at investing time in understanding all of the intricate pieces that go into the operations of a school district. And I can assure our community that we will continue to look at every way possible to run our company and our business efficiently, to make sure that we are providing the best programming and opportunities for our students so that we can have an educational program that we're all proud of. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Brad. We'll move to section 10. It's for information only. We have professional contracts. We have payment of college credits for June 2024. You can read these. And we have the education committee meeting summary. We'll move to section 11. Do we have an employee unions response? I see none. Any middle management? Okay, Mr. Solicitor.
Well, thank to the board for the reappointment. I know I keep talking about the Title IX. It's finally kicked off. We've already done one in Blast Intermediate Unit. We're doing one tomorrow for Westmoreland. Blair County with IU8 will be doing theirs July 9th. There's a lot of big changes there. Some of the scarier things that exist out there is this new generalized reporting. And what that means, it's going to be more than just to administrators. So you're going to have training for your staff when they come back in, simply because there's an expectation now if somebody reasonably believed that some sex discrimination occurred, it has to be reported. And that's going to make life a little difficult for building administrators and whoever is going to be the designated Title IX coordinator, because there's going to be an expectation that things get logged and things, be looked into. It's going to be a huge undertaking for staff and administrators going into a school year who are already being taxed with so many other responsibilities that they have. It's just a bad time to roll this thing out. We could have done without the revisions, but it is an election year, so we'll see where it goes. Unfortunately, Pennsylvania is not one of the states that has joined others to pump the brakes on it. And obvious that's for political reasons. But this will be like flying the plane as you're building it, because there's going to be a lot of new things that are going to see how they unfold. And that's it. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Beard. Okay, looking for a motion to adjourn this meeting.
so moved.
Second, anybody?
Second.
All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Thank you.